Welcome. There's been a lot of talk about the world generation in 7 Days to Die Alpha 20, and you hear words like stamps, tiles, PIs, parts, and it's all thrown around, which makes absolutely no sense if you haven't heard how they describe them, what they mean, and how they're used. During the recent stream that the FunPimps had, they sort of in a roundabout way did get it around to actually explaining it, even though it was sort of chopped into pieces, and I thought it would be extremely useful and interesting to learn what they mean and how it all works. So we're going to go ahead and listen to them here, where I have consolidated the different pieces spread over hours of streams. So make sure you stamp and tile and PI part that thumbs up button and like the video.
Since we're around in the sort of the wilderness, Robert, didn't you want to talk about the stamps and stuff?
Oh yeah. So our stamp system is a lot like the tile system with the scalability. We have obviously the different biomes, but we have mountains, hills, and plains stamps variants you can have. And for us, we're using a proprietary format that uses one red channel and a blue channel. But for you guys, you can just use the PNG, and it's just a height map. And we have a base level that's like at 32 across the board is the height, and then everything's based around that. So like the nice parking spot.
You know what? I just wanted to leave it here, everybody. I wanted to hoof it on foot. I feel like I was going through stuff too fast. So
you meant to do that.
Yeah,
you meant to do that.
This is a night of a lot of meaning to do stuff. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so like if you had a desert, like you want mesas in the desert for the mountainous bits, then you can just make desert underscore mountains underscore 02 or 01, whatever to start with. And then anytime it's a mountain tile in a desert biome, it would use that stamp or one of the variants and rotates it and scales it, and the scaling range can even be set inside of the random gen mixer XML. And this is one of the themed towns, and one of the things in the new random gen that we also allow is we used to have just the cities, towns, and country towns. Well, now we allow you to make any township you want. You can make a new one of your own style, your own tiles, your own districts, all of it. And you can control the size of it, how big it would, like how many tiles total it should have in it, and then it'll organically grow out from that. And it allows things like this Old West themed town.
Something or other?
Yeah, go to the POI thing and type in food truck. Yeah, we'll show them how the parts and like how they spawn inside of the tiles. Yeah.
Food trailer?
Yeah, any of the part underscore ones. And these are the parts. So like whenever you're editing a prefab, like a tile for random gen, you can add these part spawn markers, and you pick which POI it is, which is a part underscore, and you can give it a chance to spawn, and it will like possibly spawn in that spot. And if you have multiples under the same grouping, it'll pick one or the other. So the first one that spawns, it just escapes out and doesn't try to spawn anymore from that group. So you can allow a lot of variation in little areas. And this one, actually, this one's inside of a wilderness POI. So you can even use the POI spawner or the part spawners inside of other POIs.
Yep. Parts are basically mini POIs that, like you could place an ambulance with a bunch of nurses around it by the side of the road, and it could maybe not always spawn. It might, or spawn something else. It could spawn the army truck with some army soldiers the next time. So you could have a little prefab that's configured to be a setup of whatever you want and have it spawn in kind of randomly. You can have more random little vignettes of storytelling and whatnot.
Yeah, having the sleepers, and it can dig down into the ground. What's the part for the under construction area for the streets? I'm sure we have one in this map.
Yeah, okay. I think it would be in downtown. I think it's in one of the downtown tiles. I can't remember.
Is it like construction?
Yeah, you might be.
Just type in construction for the search. I mean, It may have one, it may
Yeah.
not. That's because it's a random chance.
Can
So
you?
sometimes they don't exist.
Oh wait, this is the same city we were in, isn't it?
Might
See,
be.
no, it's
Yeah,
yeah, it is. Yeah, crap, it is.
yeah. So we don't have one in this one, but there's ones that can dig down into the ground and like the whole area, the whole streets will be blocked off and like various things like that. And you can spawn zombies in them. I mean, we may like who knows where we're going to take that as we move forward. Because it allows the level designers a lot more variations for their POIs. Yeah. One of the things is prefab tagging and
Sure.
like prefab min-max sizes. Eric, I don't know the sizes offhand, but you could explain those. The default POI marker sizes.
Yeah. We ended up. This was actually one of the larger bulks of the work that we did. As part of this random gen update was we had to pick the tiles need to have consistent sizes of POIs, so we had to come up with size buckets for the POIs, and we came up with extra small, medium, large, and those correspond to certain actual metered sizes. Like extra small is like 25 by 25, right? So that's a pretty small space, and then the small is 42 by 42, and then medium is 60 by 60, and large is 100 by 100. We had to kind of make all the content fit into those buckets in order to so that they could consistently fit into tiles without sliding all over and being, either too big or too small or ending up spawning in a weird spot. And so we had to adjust a lot of the POIs to fit that, and then the tiles had to be built to accommodate these place marker sizes that tell a POI of that size to spawn in there. So there's a lot of moving parts to it, but players who are editing the game or modding it don't need to know all of that necessarily. They can make whatever tiles they want, or add new districts, or
Alright, you can see all the colored POI markers here, and they're of specific sizes. And I think that one's the, 100? Is that 100? 100? No, that's the 60 by 60.
Yeah, that's a 60. I think these are 42.
Yeah, the 42 mediums. And if you hit Shift Enter, it'll bring up the window for all these POI or all the markers in the marker system.
There's a part right there in the intersection too.
Yeah, right there in the.
Yeah, the car accident part spawner. Click on it there in that list. And there it shows you, okay, the marker rotations, the spawn chance, which is, 20% spawn chance. Its position, any tags it may have, which we're expanding on that. And then its group name, which group name's used to decide a lot of things. If there's more than one thing in one group, it'll only spawn one of those things in that group if it's a part spawner.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really cool. I didn't even know this was here.
And then I'm trying to think of which ones I put road exits on. Well, you can go to the gateway if you open up the gateway tile.
Okay. Is it already that one? Gateway
Yeah.
cap?
Yeah. And then see it either end there, those little
Yeah.
square bits. That is a road exit marker. If you hit Shift Enter, like you can size these based on where this, basically on what size you want in the center of where it is. Which for the highways on these specifically, like it's always going to be the same size for the highway. But these allow the system to know where to connect the highways between towns. So you could have like a third road coming off of that, or just one, however you wanted to do it. But it would be considered a gateway cap. It's like its own internal district that we use for the entrance to towns.
Okay, I'll back up.
Oh, down there's the that's the part for the construction area. That big yellow one in the center.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, like if you fly
In the
down
middle of
you'll
the
see-
street.
You'll see the rest of it once you get under the road part. Like, it doesn't cut this stuff out in the previewer, because that'd just be a lot of work for nothing, but just keep going down.
Go down under the street.
Like, it would cut out that terrain above you, and then, like, this is what would be down below.
Yeah, this has a chance to load up in your random gen, carve up the middle of the street.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, and then you can just.
That's a really good
save.
example of how much of a part could possibly change.
So to recap, stamps are the big areas like a mountain range, a canyon, a big lake or few lakes that can be scaled and fit into random worlds. Tiles are groupings of POIs laid out specifically for their generation with the roads and everything around it. It could have parts in it, could be an industrial, residential, commercial, which then dictates which POIs are there. And then you have, of course, the POIs that go into the tiles, and these are points of interest, meaning buildings. And you have finally the parts. Parts are kind of interesting because they're basically mini PIs. It could be as simple as a straight light to randomize whether it's working, or broken light when it's actually been spawned in, or it could be a food cart, or it could be something bigger that is randomly spawned in where it's been chosen by the creator of the tile. But all in all, it makes for a really great looking world. Hope you enjoyed.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.